What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like always, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. 1 second real quick. All right, had to fix the lighting up a little bit better. Even though it's still, I don't think it's that great. My wife thinks it's better. Anyways, always distracted at the beginning of the videos, but I just read a fabulous book. The book was amazing, a solid 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm giving it a 9 is just because, it's lackluster in the action department, but otherwise it's just a great story, and that is Star Wars Tatooine Ghost by Troy Denning. He does a phenomenal job with his writing. It's such a smooth flow to his writing. You can read it so fast. It's so easy to read, and he does a great job. It's almost poetry sometimes the way he writes. And I think someday I'll read some more of his books. I mean, for sure in the in his Star Wars books I'll be reading them. But he's written quite a bit of other books there. He has a list. So cover art, as you can see, is by Stephen D. Anderson. I'm trying to get better with, talking about the cover art. But anyways, about the book, this will probably be a quick video because there's, it's basically your main plot is the whole thing happening through the book. But there's some great stuff that's included that will make you see some characters from the sequel movies, or the prequel movies, I mean, in a different light. So Han and Leia and Chewbacca, C-3PO, they are on Tatooine going to bid for this like super expensive painting that has this like code hidden in it that Leia wants. It's a Alderaan painting, Alderanian or whatever. And well, they get there and they find out that the Imperials are there too. So they have to like go in the sky. They disguise themselves as a Devorian and a Twi'lek. I'm probably just butchering these names. So they disguise themselves and they go and try to get this auction going, but they realize that starting an auction war with the Imperials would, be suspicious. So they get these characters called the Squibs, which were great characters in the book. I don't know if I don't remember seeing squibs in the movies, but I'm not like a Star Wars guru. I don't remember everything, but they popped up in this book. I'm sure they're in other books, I would assume, but they're in this book, and they're great little characters, like little goat-looking creatures, I believe. I think that I looked them up on Google, and they look like little goat creatures. So, and they're like master money laundering negotiator type of things. Not money laundering, but you know what I mean. So Han and Leia have them like basically trying to get this painting, and then the auction starts to go sour. The Imperials and the Squibs are high bidding each other, and the actual owner of the painting is somebody that Han and Leia knew. So they confront him, and things go down south. Well, right when Han and Leia decide they're just going to throw a thermal detonator, destroy the painting, somebody jumps out of nowhere, takes the painting, steals it, runs off. Well, that person is Kitster, which is Anakin Skywalker's friend from Phantom Menace. If you remember the boy standing on the sideline watching him in the pod race and all that. And you also meet Wald, who is there with Anakin Skywalker. And one of the other friends, the girl, I believe, she makes an appearance in the book. But Wald has just a tiny bit of time. But Kitster don't have that much time, but he's the one that gets the plot moving. So he steals the painting, takes off. So now Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and the Squibs are teamed up, going after the painting, and it leads them to find all kinds of stuff. They end up at the moisture farm that's still there, and no, was it? Maybe it wasn't at the moisture farm. Anyways, Baru's sister gives Leia like a data recording thing. It's called something in the book. I already forgot. It's crazy. But anyways. And this is one of the best parts of the book, to be honest. What you get in the little recording thing is it's like a diary that Shmi kept, Anakin's mom, Leia's grandmother. And the way Shmi talks and stuff, you really get to know a lot about Shmi, who doesn't get much time in the prequel movies at all. And it's just great character. As much as Troy Denning could do with the character development in those diary entries, he did a phenomenal job. And you get a lot of You learn a lot about Watto too, the funky little mosquito lizard looking dude from Phantom Menace, and you actually you see his character in a different light, and it's great, man. The diary entries are just a great part of this book, and it's not an action-packed book. It's really just a great story as they're navigating their way through the Tatooine desert, trying to trace Kitster's, steps and find, retrieve this painting and save Kitster, because they end up the Azakazines, or whatever however you say their name. They team up with them. They have to make a bargain to follow a Jawa sandcrawler, and you actually get some good Jawa sandcrawler time in the book. One of them goes down with a broken leg, and Leia helps mend it. And so all this stuff's going on in this book as they're trying to find the painting. And while this is going on, Leia is dealing with a lot of problems. She's seeing her father in a different light now through Shmi's diaries. So it's changing her perception of everything she's thought about him as Darth Vader. And she's seeing him now as the human boy, Anakin Skywalker. And that's just great. She's dealing with force sensations like visions and dreams, where she thought she was seeing Luke put on Vader's helmet, but it was likely, she was on Tatooine. She was being drawn to something, and she does find they visit Obi-Wan's, and she finds something that's basically locked, and she's gonna take it back to Luke. But which I wonder what came of that. Did I miss that in the book? I don't think so. But maybe it happens in a different book. I feel like there was something in the Thrawn trilogy that Luke talked about, but I don't know. There's not much Luke in this book either, which is, if you're basic like me and your favorite character is Luke, so any book with him in it a lot is great. But the book was a solid 9 out of 10. I thoroughly loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it. And I would say if you read the X-Wing series, just continue right on with Courtship of Princess Leia, and then Tatooine Ghost. And then in a few days, I'll get to Izzard's Revenge. That's another X-Wing book. But these just kind of... Courtship of Princess Leia flows right after the last Wraith Squadron book, Solo Command. And then this kind of follows right after the Courtship of Princess Leia. So it's just a great little... the way they kept the series flowing there. So I've had a great time with these books. I mean, I am just... this one was such a great read. I just thoroughly enjoyed it so much. But next up on the TBR, we're going to get into some Star Trek again. Continuing on with the Litverse list, we have Rising Sun by S.D. Perry. It's a little short one, so I'm really hoping to finish it in about a day, but we'll see, you know what I mean? I'm not in a super rush, but super excited to get to that one. But yeah, super excited to just, I will highly recommend this book. Every book I've read so far, aside from just a handful in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, has been just straight up amazing. So, after Izzard's Revenge in June, I got the Jedi Academy trilogy coming up, and then a few more staying on that chronology. But then I'm going to jump back to the very beginning. I think it's called like Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void or something, and just basically starting from the beginning instead of where I started, which is basically post Return of the Jedi. So that's my plan. I might skip around a little bit, but mostly once I get through the books I have, which I think the last one I have is like Dark Saber or something, or Children of the Jedi, one of those two, whichever one is before the other. You know what, we can just go look real quick, and I'll tell you. I have Dark Saber is the last one I have following post Return of the Jedi, and I've read all those. Once I get to Dark Saber, I would have read everything post Return of the Jedi, which is, quite a few. So I'm probably going to stop at Dark Saber. I might get the next 3 after and go ahead and get them done, but I'll be going back and forth between those. And I have Scoundrels and Choices of One by Zahn that I want to read probably in August. So, and I'll probably, in October, I already know I'm going to skip ahead to the 2 Darth Maul books because I want to read them for Halloween. So, just stuff like that. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Just stuff like that. So, that's the video today, guys. A solid 9 out of 10. This book was amazing. Troy Denning just put on a master class in how to write a freaking good story. Because there's not much action. Towards the end, you get a little bit, but he puts on a master class. It's a phenomenal book. I highly recommend it. He nailed the characters. He nailed them, so they were great. But that's the video today, guys. Like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. And if you're reading any Star Wars right now or Star Trek, let me know in the comments down below what you're reading. Later.